Welcome to Channel. Trump's trade war with Canada is now officially backfiring, and the fallout for American tourism is devastating. For the ninth month in a row, visits from Canadian travelers to the United States have plunged, triggering what experts are calling a self-inflicted economic crisis. The numbers are grim. In September alone, Canadian road trips to the U.S. dropped by a staggering 35%, continuing a downward spiral that's draining billions from the American economy. And the big question is, why is this Trump-made disaster getting worse instead of better? To understand the scale of the problem, it's important to realize just how much the U.S. depends on Canadian tourists. For years, Canadians have been America's single largest group of international visitors, accounting for roughly 1/4 of all foreign tourists. In 2024, before Trump reignited his economic confrontation with Canada, Canadian tourists spent $20.5 billion vacationing in the U.S. Those dollars supported local businesses, created jobs, and fueled growth in communities from Florida to California. But that steady stream of visitors has dried up fast. The decline began in April and hasn't let up since. By September, travel from Canada to the U.S. had fallen for 9 straight months, with both car and air travel showing double-digit year-over-year declines. Road trips dropped 35%, and air travel fell 27% compared to September 2024. Even American travel to Canada dipped slightly, down 5%. But Canada's tourism industry has felt only a fraction of the pain. The economic consequences for the U.S. are massive. According to Tourism Economics, a division of Oxford Economics, Canadian travel to America was down 24% in just the first half of 2025. That's part of a broader collapse in international tourism that could cost the U.S. as much as $29 billion in lost revenue, compared to what officials had projected earlier this year. Let that sink in. Nearly $30 billion wiped out, not by a natural disaster or a global downturn, but by Trump's decision to wage an unnecessary trade war against America's closest ally. His aggressive tariff policies have poisoned the cross-border economic relationship, creating uncertainty and mistrust that go far beyond the tariffs themselves. And now, U.S. businesses, workers, and communities are paying the price for it. Many companies are now questioning the future of U.S.-Canada relations, with some choosing to bypass their Canadian operations altogether and work directly with American partners instead. The situation escalated sharply after Trump announced 25% tariffs on medium and heavy-duty trucks, a move that specifically targeted Quebec's PACCAR factory, a key producer of Peterbilt and Kenworth trucks. The facility, which provides hundreds of high-paying jobs and was built with substantial government support, has become the latest casualty of Trump's escalating trade war. Since taking office in January, Trump has rolled out sweeping tariffs on a wide range of Canadian goods while making a series of inflammatory remarks, including suggesting that the U.S. should make Canada the 51st state. His administration's confrontational approach to trade has left little room for compromise. Trump has repeatedly argued that the U.S. and Canada have a natural conflict because they compete in the same industries, from automotive manufacturing to steel production and other critical sectors. In his view, past administrations gave everything away to Canada at America's expense, and he's now determined to reverse that, even if it means destabilizing one of the world's closest and most mutually beneficial economic partnerships. Trump has long argued that past presidents weren't business-minded enough to see what he calls America's trade disadvantages. He's accused previous administrations of allowing automakers to move production from Detroit to Canada, while the U.S. got nothing in return. But this time, the backlash has been fierce and unmistakably personal. Canadians have responded to Trump's rhetoric and tariffs with a nationwide boycott of American goods, services, and travel. The movement has gained both grassroots momentum and official government backing. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau urged Canadians to choose Canadian whenever possible, emphasizing the importance of supporting domestic products and destinations. Foreign Minister Melanie Joly went even further, encouraging citizens to cancel or avoid travel to the United States entirely. When outlining Canada's retaliation plan, Trudeau explicitly named popular U.S. destinations, including Old Orchard Beach, Maine, and Florida, as places Canadians should skip. The public's response has been massive. Surveys show that nearly half of Canadians now say they are less likely to travel to the U.S. this year, with many opting for vacations within Canada instead. Social media campaigns promoting by Canadian have exploded. One Facebook group has grown to over 1.2 million members, and several new mobile apps now help shoppers identify and avoid American-made products altogether. Behind these numbers are real stories of frustration and disillusionment. A Canadian family who once planned to buy a vacation condo in Hawaii has shifted their sights to Costa Rica. A Maine bed and breakfast owner, who for decades welcomed loyal Canadian guests, is now facing waves of cancellations from families determined to uphold the boycott, even if they personally regret it. The ripple effects across the U.S. economy are severe. Beyond tourism, Canadian purchases of American food products have fallen by 15 to 20%, with some categories plunging as much as 50%. Credit card spending by Canadians in the U.S. is down 36%, and hotel bookings in New York City have dropped by 45%.